Dan menjelang pembentangan Rancangan Malaysia ke-12 RMK-12 di Parlimen 27 September depan, tumpuan sudah pastinya terarah kepada pelan kerajaan membawa keluar Malaysia dari kemelut COVID-19 yang melanda ketika ini. Tinjauan Astro AWANI dalam kalangan warga Kedah mendapati selain daripada pembangunan, sektor kesihatan pelan berkenaan juga perlu memberikan manfaat besar kepada kumpulan keluarga berpendapatan rendah.
Harapan di masa akan datang macam bahagian kesihatan akan bertambah baik lagi lah dari segi management macam tu, sebabnya macam benda ni pun bermula dengan kesihatan kita kan. Di masa akan datang tu pihak KKM akan buat sesuatu yang lebih efisien dalam menangani masalah pandemik ni.
Pendapat pakcik bagi B40 ni minta bagi kerajaan pertimbangkan rancangan ke-12 ni, pertimbangkan bagi B40 ni macam di segi secara keuangan kan, bantuan keuangan, dan bagi pihak pakcik ni kalau kata di luar mendak ni makna kata di segi keuangan lah yang paling penting.
Harapan saya berharap kerajaan kebanyakanlah untuk peluang untuk anak-anak muda dari sudut pekerjaan semua, boleh permudahkan urusan pinjaman untuk perniagaan kecil untuk anak-anak muda memulakan perniagaan, sebab ramai di kalangan anak-anak muda yang terkesan dengan pandemik semua ni, lepas tu dan ramai anak-anak muda yang berminat dalam perniagaan.
Dan pada tahun ini, kerajaan lancarkan Malaysia Digital Economy Blueprint dengan sasaran untuk meningkatkan sumbangan ekonomi digital kepada KDNK. Laporan McKinsey pada Oktober 2020, lapor yang COVID-19 dan sekatan yang dilakukan untuk kawal penularannya akibatkan peningkatan kepantasan penggunaan teknologi digital sebanyak beberapa tahun. Dan kita sedia maklum yang pendapatan transaksi e-dagang melonjak 30% pada suku tahun pertama 2021. Namun e-dagang adalah sebahagian sahaja daripada komponen ekonomi digital. Pelajar menggunakan PDPR untuk sesi persekolahan sebelum ini. Saya dan juga anda ada kalanya bekerja dari rumah. Mesyuarat dilakukan di atas talian dan proses pendigitalan perniagaan meningkat dan penggunaan e-wallet juga meningkat. Jadi apa seharusnya jadi fokus Malaysia menerusi RMK-12 dalam skop teknologi digital dan bagaimana untuk pastikan transformasi dan ekonomi digital ini inklusif? Dan kita bersama dengan Pengarah Urusan Google Malaysia, Marc Woo, untuk membincangkan berkenaan dengan RMK-12 dari sudut ekonomi digital. Izinkan saya meneruskan dalam bahasa Inggeris. Marc, thank you for joining us, Marc. Tell us about the state of SMEs in Malaysia now. Many states have started to relax the strict MCOs that prompted these SMEs to go online. Would this spell the end or decline of e-commerce activities and digitalization in Malaysia? How are these SMEs moving forward into 2022?
Rizal, good morning. So thank you for having me. I would say that all online activities will continue to thrive. Confident. Mm-hmm. You know, when you think about it, when someone can find information at their fingertips, easily watch a video on YouTube with limited bandwidth, and purchase something on their phones on the go, I think the speed, convenience, and pricing is really unmatched. So we've seen this rise in online services for more than a decade. You know, COVID or no COVID, just that the pandemic accentuated the need for all these online services. So when I match that against the lifeblood of the economy, SMEs, who employ over 70% of the workforce, if they have not already adopted this more enhanced consumerism or this new trend, get on it today. And if they need to train themselves or their employees, we offer a free program called Market Digital Persona.
But Marc, income for e-commerce, of course, recorded steady growth in 2020 and in the first quarter of 2021. In the first quarter of 2021, income for e-commerce recorded 254.6 billion ringgit, with an increase of about 30%, as I said earlier, year on year. How do we sustain this growth moving forward?
So the growth, I'm confident, will be sustained by one driving force. And the driving force is the Malaysian consumers. Right? They, like I said, they want the ease, they want convenience, they want a wide variety of access. Stores are opening up. I think that's great. I don't think in the future it will be a binary choice, whether you buy solely in the stores or solely on e-commerce. I think a lot of products will be bought online, some at physical stores, but a lot of research will be done in a hybrid manner. Now, throughout the pandemic, what we saw was 1/3 of the population, the Malaysian population, over 10 million of them, and most of them from the rural areas, were first-time users to online services. So what I mean by online services, paying for video content, purchasing something tangible online, using food delivery as a service, right? And all of them, when we did this research with them, all of them said that they will continue using it. So the growth will be sustained, the driving force consumers, right? Now, digital technology will then become the bread and butter, whether it's your internal operating process or your sales channels. So businesses who are reluctant to change and adapt, in a way we know the outcome, but go where the consumers are and follow their footsteps.
I like what you said earlier about it's not a binary choice between A or B, digital or going to physical stores. Tell us more about this. I mean, will this be prevalent in all the activities we do moving forward?
I think so. Yes, I think it's going to be increasingly prevalent, right? And there are a lot of factors to this, but there are some that are still quite a mainstay, if you will. Think about the research that you do prior to buying any items. Think about the inspiration that you get from browsing online on something that you don't really need, but you want it. So a lot of all this, I would say, the non-high value products that are new to you, you would do a lot of research online for sure, and then you would choose whether to go to the store, to feel, to touch, to try it on, right? And then if the pricing is right, you would buy it. But if the pricing is better online, which you can get hold of the information at your fingertips, you will buy it online. So I think the choices is so varied now. It's fantastic. It's great. It's great for consumers, but for the businesses, extremely complex. We get it.
And Marc, looking at the change of behavior, what are your thoughts about the 12 Malaysia plan, and how will the digital economy blueprint fit into this 5-year plan moving forward?
So, I'll reserve my comments for the 12 Malaysia plan. But in general, I hope that it's a plan where it will be more execution focused rather than strategy focused. Okay, I won't dive in deep into that. But the My Digital Blueprint is, to me, extremely exciting and very ambitious. When we talk about ambition, it says that it wants to create 500,000 digital-centric jobs, close to 1 million or 900,000 micro SMEs adopting e-commerce, a new sales channel, and then the government, 80% of their workflow going on cloud. I think that's fantastic. It's leading by example, right? And so this is one huge element I feel that should be front and center of the 12 Malaysia plan. Because it aligns with the projections that we see. In that, going forward in the next few years, if Malaysia fully embraces, and by Malaysia I mean public sector and private, if we fully embrace the whole digital transformation, whether it's small, whether it's huge, what the government had, it will generate an economic value that is equivalent to 20% of our GDP. And that's huge, right? By just going on this digital transformation journey.
But would a 5-year plan be suitable for something that is fast-moving in nature? Digital technology moves really fast, and you have new inventions, new gadgets, new apps coming out on a daily basis, for example. Would a 5-year plan be suitable for that, or should it be, perhaps relook at every year or every 2 years at least?
I think a 5-year plan is very suitable. In fact, I also do a 5-year plan, but it's fairly high level. Yes, we want to know which direction to head towards too. Okay, and key focus areas. key focus areas that won't go away: education, certain sectors, right? Governments, technology adoption, and so on and so forth. All that won't go away in the next 10 years. It'll still be there. But breaking it down to what I mentioned earlier, breaking it down to executional focus on a year-to-year basis that aligns with the 5-year plan, I think that's going to be crucial.
And Marc, do you think the 12 Malaysia plan could further accelerate Malaysia's aim to become a digital hub for the region? What key measures should we focus on to achieve this?
Yeah, I'm going to be slightly contentious here and say that maybe we can take baby steps first, as opposed to, jumping straight into a digital hub. I would say, we're just turning around the pandemic, the health crisis. So I would focus very much on revenue and employment, right? Coupled with the fact that Malaysia is a relatively small domestic market, both in population size and spending power. So if you look at what's really available for us, the internet allows literally any business to spread their wings and fly from the comfort of their homes or offices, right? So number one is just utilize the simple digital tools, plug and play software, cloud, improve efficiency, yes, but go beyond the shores of Malaysia. Export in this era is much easier than years before, right? So we work with Marc to expand to more, to get SMEs to expand their consumer base into more countries. So that's one. Number two is self-plug here. YouTube. YouTube is a fantastic tool, not just for entertainment, information, or education, but a way to market a product or market a service or even earn an income, right? Beyond Malaysia. So I'll give you a homegrown example. Les Kopak, an animation studio, high quality 3D animation based in Malaysia. They have over 10 million subscribers. Majority of them are not from Malaysia, right? So it's a great case of going export. And the last one, I would say it's arguably tougher to crack, and it's for our kerajaan, our government to really forge ahead with multilateral digital trade agreements. We spoke about the digital free trade zone, widen access to SMEs, and as outlined in the My Digital Blueprint, really to encourage and work towards building that trusted, that secure digital playground to facilitate cross-border data flows, at least within ASEAN, right? I think that's a huge opportunity.
But Marc, how do we make digital transformation a bit more inclusive, and what strategies are needed in the 12th Malaysia plan to make sure that no one is left behind when it comes to the 3 areas discussed by Khazanah Research Institute: access, affordability, and application? What gaps can be addressed quickly?
Rizal, thank you for asking this question. I think it's super critical because I feel that digital or the internet is like electricity, right? And no one in Malaysia should be living with a candlelight as their main source of energy. So inclusivity is in fact quite paradoxical, and it covers a wide range. But I'll speak about only 4 areas. Number 1 is infrastructure. Number 2 is SMEs. Number 3 is students. And number 4 is the underserved. So I'll just quickly go through the infrastructure bit because I'm not an expert here. Internet reliability and speed, fiberization, 5G, lower cost of entry. We all know the story. Our coverage is 90% penetration, which is fantastic. And I know there are plenty of efforts underway to improve speed, uptime, and costs. Right. So that's number 1. Number 2 is I spoke about SMEs. I think the barrier to digital adoption is there. Unlike large companies with larger budgets and better access to talent, SMEs tend to be extremely lean, scrappy, and they sometimes scratch their heads, right, as to what to do right now. So I think there's a huge role for the government to play, whether it's incentivization, motivation, training, so on and so forth. Number 3 is students. 6 million of them. Give them the platform, internet connectivity, devices, and software. If we don't give them, they're already there, right? They're already on YouTube. They're using digital anyway. So why not transform the education system, right, to be more hybrid or digital focused? So a good example is for many years, for a few years, we've been working with MOE to give free Google Classroom to all public schools. And we have over 3 million students and teachers on Google Classroom. So my push is, what about all of them? Instead of 3 million, why not 6 million? So I think that's going to be quite critical, right, in bridging the divide. The last bit is on the underserved, women and folks in the rural areas, right? So I would encourage some programs to be focused on bridging this digital divide, and it's hugely important to us as well. So much so that we actually invested in running a program with Nestle, with Maggie, to help women entrepreneurs get on this rocket ship, which is the internet or the digital transformation.
On that note, thank you very much, Marc Woo, Pengarah Urusan Google Malaysia, membincangkan berkenaan dengan RMK ke-12 dan juga apakah harapan dan juga apakah yang perlu ditumpukan kerajaan bergerak ke hadapan untuk memastikan Malaysia menjadi hub digital serantau.
Selepas tertangguh selama setahun, bagaimana Rancangan Malaysia ke-12 akan menghidupkan semula ekonomi negara selepas lumpuh akibat pandemik? Bagaimana ia memastikan selepas terencat pertumbuhan selama 2 tahun, ekonomi dapat dibangunkan dengan lebih baik untuk 5 tahun akan datang? Bagaimana RMK-12 akan menjamin pembinaan Malaysia yang lebih baik? Saksikan liputan istimewa Rancangan Malaysia ke-12 Isnin 27 September bermula jam 10.30 pagi hanya di Astro AWANI, saluran berita paling dipercayai di Malaysia.